The story begins with a group of boys bullying another boy, calling him a Class B wizard because his mana pool was less than 1,000. The bullied boy, bored by the situation, starts to walk away. One of the bullies threatens him by creating a water ball, but the bored boy knocks him out using a slingshot and leaves. The story then shifts to 2 years earlier. The boy's mana pool was low, and his family, following the typical family rule of comparing each child, found him to be the weakest, a null magic user with the lowest level of magic. As a result, he was kicked out of the family. He spent time in the woods, using his mana bullets to hunt birds. Suddenly, something approaches him from behind. This is where the boy, whose name is Sky, is introduced to a man named Ans. Ans offers Sky something in exchange for the bird, and Sky expresses his desire to become like Ans. However, when Sky calls Ans uncle, Ans quickly corrects him, saying he's not an uncle. Sky wants to learn magic from Ans, but he's disappointed because of his low mana pool. Despite this, Ans begins teaching him the basics of magic. Ans starts by explaining about mana speed, the speed at which magic travels from one point to another, and says it also depends on the user. Sky assumes that the faster the speed, the stronger the magic, but Ans corrects him, saying that's a lie. The real speed of magic is about magic conversion. Ans gives an example, saying magic barriers take 8 seconds to form. He then asks Sky to count to 10, 1, 2, 3. 10. He explains that it would take Sky 9.2 seconds for his magic to reach its target, and 1.2 seconds to convert the magic, meaning there's a lag. The lag differs for everyone depending on the user. Ans praises Sky, saying he has the potential to convert magic even faster than him. This would make Sky a no-lag wizard, the strongest and fastest wizard in the world. Ans offers to make Sky his student, but Sky hesitates, feeling that with his low mana pool and having been abandoned by his family, he wouldn't be able to meet Ans's expectations. Ans, however, doesn't care about Sky's background or mana pool, which makes Sky happy. After some time, Ans gives Sky a magic measuring tool. When Sky asks what it is, Ans says he'll explain later. Sky then performs a test, and with just one shot, he puts a hole in a tree. The result is extremely high, signaling Sky's potential. Thus, the training begins. During a mock battle, Sky uses all his tricks but still gets knocked out, while Ans doesn't even break a sweat. 6 months later, they visit an adventure guild to find a job for good money. They get a job to defeat a Yeti, which is quite dangerous. After analyzing the situation quickly, Sky counters the Yeti with his slingshot. After landing a few attacks, Sky becomes overconfident, thinking it's easy to defeat the Yeti without his master's help. But he's wrong. Letting his guard down forces Ans to interfere. Ans tells Sky to give it everything he's got. Sky still doesn't fully understand how to use magic, but he uses whatever skills he has. His speed increases dramatically, and he begins firing mana bullets with both hands. This makes him the fastest caster, with 100% magic conversion speed. Thus, the birth of the no-lag wizard takes place. Ans is extremely happy to see Sky's progress. Then the two of them take the Yeti back to the guild, and this is when Sky finds out that the Yeti is an A-rank monster, and he realizes that he is capable of taking down an A-rank monster. The most important thing, however, is the cash, but his teacher is focused on some important lessons. Sky is more interested in 2 of those lessons than anything else, and during some idle chatter, the lessons come up. If your consumption and requirement are the same, you'll use less mana, if not, you'll use more. And most importantly, I'm not good at math, so I take math classes. Just understand this much: Sky, the higher the speed and efficiency, the less mana you'll use. Now, let's get a wand. A wand is a tool that makes magic outcomes easier, but it's not as simple as it seems. Sky is told to design and shape his wand while keeping certain factors in mind. Sky starts thinking about the design of his wand, aiming for something with rapid fire, easy handling, and low magic usage. He come up an idea. After a few days, the wand is ready, and they use a shooting target to practice. Looks at his wand, it resembles a long barrel gun with no reload option and no recoil, and there are 2 of them. Ans notes, "What the heck is this, Sky?" Normally, a wand or weapon increases the magic spell power by a few points, but in this case, it's 2.5 times stronger. It seems Sky had some specific ideas in mind when designing the wand. Now comes the revision. How many spell categories, Sky? 4 categories, 1 beginner, 2 intermediate, 3 advanced, and 4 old spells. which can also be forbidden spells. The casting times are 1 to 2 seconds for the first, 4 to 5 seconds for the second, and 6 to 7 seconds for the third. Leave the old spell for this time. Now for a secret, Ons is a healer. Upon hearing this, Sky's face shrivels like a raisin. After some power distribution talk, and again with some math, Ons explains that Sky can use advanced level spells because he is a dual caster. Since his mana pool is 500, with 2 spells combined, it becomes 1000. Then Ons wants to touch Sky's wand, but Sky refuses, saying, "Don't touch my child." After 6 months, Ons says, "I'm leaving for home. You take care of yourself. Oh, and I have a fiancé." Sky responds, "You have a fiancé? Then why are you wasting time here?" Ons explains, "Because of my master. I spent 3 years looking for a legless wizard, and I found you. It took another year to train you, and now, in a week, I'm leaving. But I don't want to go." Sky tells him, "It's been 4 years. You need to meet your fiancé. Who knows? You might already have a 3-year-old child in your absence. Now let's prepare some food for your departure. And let's have one last battle." During the mock battle, Sky shoots at Ons but gets tricked. Ons uses a magic seal before completing his spell, but Sky fires at him and knocks him out. To knock Ons out, Sky uses a new magic trick that increases damage by 200%. It's too much for a healer to handle, and Ons is knocked out for 2 weeks. At the last moment, Ons praises Sky for achieving 200% magic conversion speed. 6 years later, Sky is now 15 years old, and his family has enrolled him in a magic academy. 1 year earlier, Sky's father had called him and informed him about the academy, saying, "You know about the magic academy, right? Since you haven't crossed 1000 MP, I didn't want to send you, but under the circumstances, I have to enroll you. Your younger brother also studies there, and he'll take care of everything. But I have no choice but to send you." Sky, feeling like a useless son, refuses at first, saying, "Is it that necessary to send a trash son there?" But his father offers him 1/3 of the family property as a deal. Sky, being greedy, agrees, thinking, not a bad deal, a degree and property good. But there's one condition: you won't interfere, not now, and not ever. Sky agrees, and with something still brewing in his mind, he starts hunting for his expenses. In one day, he hunts 2 A-class monsters. The guild master is pleased, realizing that giving Sky a gold card wasn't a mistake. At that moment, a girl named Ariat Tungaloy approaches. She also has a gold card and belongs to a marquee family. She's about to join the academy as well. Ariat asks Sky, "You took down 2 A-rank monsters. You must be really strong. Now, tell me your name quickly." Sky doesn't want to reveal his name, but Ariat says, "Well, we'll be together for 3 years. I'll find out anyway, since we'll be in the same class." Same class. Sky is surprised. The Magical Academy has sections system that based on the magic level of student. Sky wonders, "My mana is low." She's going to find out soon. When Ariat asks about his mana pool, Sky is hesitant, thinking, "Does she not know who I am? I'm just a BB class wizard from a count family. Ugh, she'll find out sooner or later." Ariat, still cheerful, says, "No problem. We'll compete for the top student position. I'm so happy to have finally found a worthy opponent. See you soon, Sky Vincent." She leaves. Sky, what the hell? On entrance day, Sky receives his ID card. Everything on it shows A rank, but his class is E rank. He knows why this is the case. Once again, he becomes the target of bullying as a BB rank wizard, which frustrates him. He overhears they are talking about Ariat and she's looking for Sky in classroom because he should have been placed in class A, not E. Another student, the king's 6th daughter, is also placed in class E due to an illness. She's cute, and Sky notices her giving him a side eye. After 14 days, the king's daughter tells Sky to meet her behind the school. Sky doesn't go. Later, she shows up at Sky's room and asks, "Why didn't you come?" Sky replies, "Because I thought you were going to bully me." She says, "I didn't call you to bully you. Then what did you want?" "I came to make an announcement." Sky is confused. "What announcement?" "That I'm the best disciple of Ons." Sky's jaw drops. Ons is his teacher too. She continues, "That's right. I joined class E just to meet you. Though I was weak, that was all a lie. Ons was my doctor, and ever since he met you, All he talks about is you. I just had to meet you. And listen up, Skyons is only my master. You may be lagless, but I'm at 93% magic conversion speed, and soon enough, I'll surpass you and take ons from you. Until then, live your life. With this declaration of war, she leaves. As she exits, a letter slips under Sky's door. Sky smirks, thinking, looks like it's time for a fight. At the school backyard, Sky is confronted. You wasted an hour of mine, and you couldn't tell me accurately where to come. The school is so big, someone mocked. You haven't changed in 5 years, they continued. Sky was still confused about who it was. Look at my chin. You still don't remember me. Still, he couldn't recognize the person. His friend started laughing, and Sky, annoyed, punched his friend. After 5 years of intense training, I've become really strong. Sky then told them that violence was prohibited on school grounds, and if they were to pin the blame on someone else, they'd have to explain themselves and face punishment. I also have proof, the person said, boasting about having a mana pool of 12,000. Sky, unimpressed, responded, yes, but this year's highest mana pool is 28,000. That's not a big deal. The person, Balanga, got angry and retorted, your mana is below 1,000, yet you mock me? Sky coolly replied, dude, I don't care how much mana I have. Balanga then pulled out his pure gold wand, which was shaped like a trident. This trident can increase magical power by 1.3 times, he boasted. Sky smirked, 1.3 times? That's a joke. Fired a beginner-level water spell that normally takes 1 second to form, but that was more than enough time for Sky to fire from his gun and knock him out. Not again, Sky thought as he shot him down. From a distance, someone witnessed the entire event. A few days later, Sky was wandering around when he saw some kids bullying a weak student. This reminded him of his own childhood when no one stood up for him. He shot one of the bullies from a distance, knocking them out. The bullies blamed the weak student, but Sky knocked them out too. As he was about to leave, someone approached him from behind. He dodged out of shock, and they told him to lower his guard. The stranger asked, how did you do that? Do what? Sky asked, confused. Knock them out with just one spell, the stranger clarified. The stranger introduced himself as Rengier Kest, the vice president of the school council, and the other person introduced themselves as Suran, the school council president. Rengier had been the one who witnessed Sky's fight with Balanga, and they had been observing Sky ever since. Rengier and Suran then offered Sky a position in the school council, which Sky immediately rejected. Fine, if not willingly, then by force, they said. Using any form of magic on individuals is forbidden within the school campus, and I have an eyewitness, Suran threatened. Sky replied, that's unfair, they were using magic too. Suran assured him, I'll deal with them later. For now, come with us peacefully. They led Sky to the student council room. Here's your badge. You're now part of the student council. From now on, you're allowed to use magic without permission, and you'll also be allotted a budget, they explained. Sky didn't want to be part of the council, but he had 3 years to finish school and claim his property. Then they told him, oh, by the way, you won't get any of that inheritance because the king already filed a claim under your brother's name for the entire property. Hearing this, Sky muttered, I can't do school anymore. I'm done with this worthless father. However, he realized that if anything happened to his brother, he'd be the sole heir to all the property. If I drop out, the Count family will become furious and pose a threat to me. My peaceful life will be over, they told him. They pressured him into staying, explaining that Suran's family had even more influence than the Vincent family. Sky begrudgingly agreed, but only if they let him leave if he got bored. The next day, a ceremony was held to summon familiars. The students were excited as they hoped for familiars that matched their personality types. The most prestigious familiar was a dragon, which everyone considered the best. When it was Sky's turn, Sky asked, what is a familiar? A familiar is a mystical creature that doesn't exist in the real world, they reside in the spirit world. If a familiar gets injured, they can heal in 2 to 3 days in the spirit realm. To summon a familiar, you need to drop a drop of blood on a blood plate. He summoned a human-like conjurer, a fairy-type familiar. Sky's familiar appeared, looking like a clownish fairy, which Sky found cute at first, but it sounded like an old man. This isn't cute at all, Sky said, disappointed. The fairy's ability was called Trick Maker, which could be very useful on the battlefield if used correctly. When should I use my ability, now or later? The fairy asked. Sky told him to wait. The fairy then asked for alcohol, which baffled Sky. After school, Sky thought of completing the contract in his room, but a message from the school council appeared. When the message showed up, one of his classmates commented, you have such a high ego, using the teacher's notice board for your personal messages. Sky admitted his mistake and was on his way when he casually challenged the BB rank wizard to a duel. Explained what an official duel was: a weekly event where students could officially use magic within the academy. Winning an official duel could even upgrade a student's class to the level they deserved. Goal was to climb to Class A, and this duel with the BB rank wizard was his first step. The bet for this duel: Sky's student council seat. The final decision would be made by the student council president. Bets were being placed in the class, with most students betting on Tatsu, who was known for his strong and abrasive personality. However, the princess bet on Sky, knowing that Mr. Legless Wizard wouldn't lose. Inside the student council room, new recruits were introduced. One was a big, happy guy named Pusto, who was thrilled to meet Sky, and the other was a cute junior named Reem, who was from the same year as Sky. Reem was secretly jealous because Sky had joined the student council before her and had even broken his hand because of it. Despite this, Reem was good-hearted. She was really angry but wouldn't admit it. Reem had been strong since childhood, and she had a promise to be the first recruited to the student council. However, since Sky got in first, she ended up breaking his hand. The president was angry with her for her mistake. In his room, Sky summoned Trick Maker, who reminded him, "I can't fight like a dragon, but I can handle everything else." Sky asked, "What's your name?" The fairy replied, "Call me whatever you want." Sky named him Clown, which was fitting given his abilities. Clown's other name was Miracle and Debacle. Sky asked what that meant. That's all for today. See you in the next video or the next part of this video. Thank you for watching.